Welcome back to the blend.
With Kenz and Chan. Hey,
Hey,
Kenz.
Chan.
How's it going today?
Great. I feel like we're having an awesome day with some really good meetings, so productive. Sun is shining. I'm thriving.
Yes, I agree. It's been really exciting. It's kind of crazy how many years in and these times happen where I'm like, I think this is the most excited I've ever been about the business, which is really cool how that can happen later on.
Yeah, no, it's like a full, refreshing, new feeling. It's awesome. I agree. It's yeah, we've got some like really fun, interesting things going on, like some new potential revenue streams, some bigger partnerships, stuff that's we've wanted for a long time. So it's feels great.
Yeah, it's I know everyone's always saying like timing is everything and you'll just know when you know and all those things, but it does feel like we're coming upon a very exciting chapter that, like you said, we've been building towards for a long time. And now I feel like we're coming actually in it, which coming to experience it in real time, which is really cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think we keep setting goals and like big achievements that seem far off, and we'll like think about them and hope and talk and wish that we'll get there sometime, but we're getting closer. Like that is achievable and we're making it happen within the next year. So instead of just like that's a long-term goal, it's now becoming a short-term goal. So I think we're
Yes.
going about it the right way.
I love it. I feel like that segues well into a random idea we had for this one to really put the money where our mouth is on this being a blend of business and friendship. Thought it would be fun to go back and forth interview style, asking each other questions, and we don't know what they are. We're going to make them up on the spot of things we're interested in knowing what the other thinks. And it can be either business or
Whoa.
friendship. Really, a blend.
Whoa. Cool.
Crazy. So we are going to just try it out. We're going to go back and forth, and it can be literally anything. And a fun way for us to just see what's up with the other.
Love it. Taking a turn, taking a twist.
Cool. Well, I'll go
Great.
first. Um, I will start with a business one just because we were just talking
Okay.
about it, and I'm intrigued to know what you think about this. Bear with me because I don't know if these questions will make perfect sense right off the bat. But something I want to know is just like you said, okay, we're moving, we have these big goals, but we actually see ourselves moving towards them. And I feel like for so many years as a startup, it's hard to actually materialize what you want sometimes because so many other things come up. So what do you think has been successful for us lately? Like why are we able to make movement? Like what is coming to mind for you that we're able to actually materialize on these goals?
Love that question. Great start. I think honestly, we don't want to be in the same place we are now and a year from now and 5 years from now. I think we're like, all right, it's time. We're sick of slow growth. It's time to move. Like, we need big changes. And we actually haven't been growing slow. Like, we really have been growing at a great rate. But it's like not good enough for us, you know? It's like, yeah, we're
Yeah,
progressing, we're launching in new cities. Like, I'm saying this like I'm blowing it over. It really shouldn't. Like, we should celebrate those things and like, yes, we're winning,
it's hard
we're
to.
tripling revenue, like we're doing great. But I think we both had like huge goals when we first started, and I think maybe they were too ambitious and crazy, or we were naive, but I think almost 10 years in now, we're probably not quite where we would have thought we would be that long ago. Um, and not that we're in a bad place at all, but we aren't $100 million company, there's just always more, and maybe that's a toxic way of thinking,
Hmm.
but um, yeah, I want the big goals. I want like to sell for a lot of money. I want to hit huge revenue numbers. Um, and we're like, it's time. Like, it's not like 3 more years gets us there differently. Like, we can do it now. We have had enough growth to get those things that we wanted 10 years ago. So it's time to grind and like make it happen. But that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's it has. I do attribute it back to that conversation we had in November, I think it was, or
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
December, and that was
Yeah.
intense. Like we got really real with ourselves
Yeah.
first and then one another and said we don't want to go into our 30s with this business not catapulting in the way we want to see it. And I do think that really attributes to a lot of the way we're progressing now, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool to see that that decision could make such an
I
impact.
think that's a great point about the age. Like, I think 30 is such a huge, there's so much pressure and like so much um, expectations around being somewhere or something by 30. I put a lot of pressure on myself for sure. And yeah, I definitely feel it this year. I'm like, okay, new generation here, new like decade. Let's get it. Like, I'm sick of coasting. Not that we even have been coasting, but like I'm ready to crank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get it.
Um, okay, I am gonna go a personal question now to balance, to blend.
To blend.
What is the first thing you would buy if we did sell the business and we got 50 million each?
Hell yeah.
What's like the first thing you're
um,
doing?
I love it. That is easy. I'm buying a Cape house for my parents. I that just as much benefits me, but that is something I joke with them that like for everything they've done for me, like when things are really hard and they're like, "Oh my god, Channing, like I don't know how you do it or how you deal with it." I'm just like, "Cape house, y'all. Cape house for you guys. Let's go." So, I would love to do that and just for my mom to never have to work again. She has busted
Oh,
her ass beyond belief for me. So, that for
wow.
sure would be the first
Oh, I
thing.
love that. That is so beautiful.
I'm gonna cheat and ask that, but then I will ask another one. So I'd love to know what your first is
Damn, well,
too.
now I want to change it. I'm not that generous, honestly. Like,
No, no, no. You hey, this that benefits me. I'm gonna be there. But
I
yeah.
definitely was like cars, boats, like planes.
Hell yeah. Yacht, baby.
Yeah, I think I would definitely buy a really nice car, I think. I,
I can see it.
no, I love my 14-year-old Honda, but she is like, you know, she's 14, like she is dirty, like it's just not luxurious.
She has been through it. That is for
No, and
sure.
she's trucking still, but yeah, I would definitely get a Porsche or like a really sporty little two-door, I think, and or maybe get two and get like a Bronco or like a Jeep as well and have a little balance.
Yes, I think dual personality car vibes is the ultimate move. What color would you go?
Ooh, as a kid, something I always like my childhood rich life was getting like a custom paint job. Like, I just thought, I was
I
like,
knew
that
it.
is, if I'm ever rich enough, that is what I will spend the money on. And as an adult, that's like not something I've ever really considered. Maybe because I'm not rich enough yet. But I would definitely do like a fully, I don't even know what color, but it's a color you never see. Like a bright orange or like a yellowish. I love those colors. So like
I
something
do.
like that, but You can't, you like, you gotta get, or like metallic and shiny, or like something that has to be custom done.
I freaking love it. They would know the Ken's
Yeah.
Mobile. I was thinking maybe chartreuse.
Yeah, I know. I love that color, that like greenish yellow. That's a good one too.
You're so bold. I
Those
freaking love it.
hues.
It's totally your energy. As we have been talking a lot about branding, I keep thinking about that word euphoria for you. I just think that was so cool. That was, I feel like, very fitting. Okay, my question is going to be personal as well. I would love to know, what are you most confident about in yourself since turning 30?
Ooh, love it. Um, I think I'm confident that I can do anything. Like I it's it's in my control rather. I guess.
Mm.
I've always been ambitious and been like, yeah, I can set my mind to it and do it kind of vibe, go for it. But I think now this year I've really learned that if something is not going well, or you don't like a situation, it is in your control no matter how much you think it might not be. Obviously, people are handed situations and there are things that happen that are not great, or you have circumstances that are hard to overcome, but you have more control than you think. At least and maybe not everyone. Maybe I'm not thinking of every possible scenario, but you can't, like, even just, I feel like I've been had some low lows in the past couple of years where I'm like really unhappy. And I think this year I was just
Mhm.
kind of like, dude, just stop. Like, stop being unhappy. Like, make yourself be happy. And yeah, you can't always just put a smile on, but whatever that means,
Mhm.
like, go to therapy, get on medication, start meditating, like, do things to get to the happiness, because it's not just going to stop. It's not just going to turn around on its own. So even something where you're
Mm.
like, oh, I'm in a rut, like I'm in a lull, I'm waiting for it to go away, is that was my mindset for a long time. And now I kind of am like, okay, it's actually not going to change unless I do something about it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Like, you got to take control, whatever you can take control of.
Wow, so wise. I feel like a lot of people go their whole lives without realizing that it's in their power to change their happiness. So
Yeah,
that's
I
really
really
cool.
believe that. And yeah, I get frustrated with people who are kind of like play the victim in a lot of ways. And there are victims, like there are bad things that happen to people, and there is suffering. I'm definitely not denying that, but I think you, at a certain point, you gotta like get out of it. You gotta move on, and like whatever that might mean, you have to change your situation. Take ownership.
Retweet. Love that. I have so many other follow up questions, but I know that's not the game. So
No,
I'll ask
ma'am.
them another time.
Uh, I will do a business one now for you. What is the best advice you've ever been given as an entrepreneur?
Ooh, man. The
Or the
best.
worst, if you have one that comes to mind first.
The worst and the best, man. There's been lots of
I know,
mid,
so much
so I'm
mid.
try I'm trying to think. Um, ooh, okay. I feel like a couple of people have given this advice or this insight in different ways, but I think maybe just because it was the latest version of it and it really clicked because I think I was ready to understand it finally, was from our sales coach, Brett. And he was really just talking me through how sales is just a process, it's just an equation, it's just a numbers game. And the numbers game piece, I've heard it before, but like, just knowing there's a certain amount of outreach you have to do to get the result you want to see. And I then, it clicked for me, and I don't know why, because I'd heard about the rule of nines and the 333 and stuff before, but I think I also really needed to hear that for fundraising or for exiting or for marketing. Like, we have to have a big enough funnel to get to the place we want to be. It has to be the inverse versus just like keep trying to widen it. That was so mind blowing for me. And I think it really changed my mindset in how do we secure and close dollars in any facet of our company. So that, I think, to me, is the best I
Love
got.
that. Yeah, it it is kind of taking, it's like there you have control over sales if you can do, if you know how much output you need to do, like you can know what to expect. Yeah, because that can be tough too when you're just like, no one's buying, they're saying no. Like it's it's nice to try and get some of that control back in that kind of situation.
Totally. And I think too, it also helped me chill out. I think I was just so overwhelmed when someone said no on the fundraising side or the business side. Like, I had the scarcity mindset and I needed to shift. I'm like, oh, you're just not one of them, you know? Like, you're just another no. So that's taken a long time to understand. But I love your the thought of like what's the bad advice, and I can't think of them right now, but I do think maybe that should be an episode. Like, we think about
Oh
all
my
the bad
gosh,
advice we've gotten.
I love that. I can think of a lot in like the project music days, like early
Oh,
on.
yeah.
And maybe because we were so young and so open to feedback, people would just pour it on. But like, and we were trying to take all that advice, and we tried to do everything everyone told us, and some of it was terrible. Like, and
So
it
bad.
is so since made me realize like no one knows anything, and like, like we're the experts in
No,
our business and always will be.
that. Like, it's kind of been crazy. Oh, one thing that just made me think of was I used to be embarrassed to say how long we've been in business because there was such this like expectation that we should be a startup that's done everything in like less than 2 years or something. But now we're seeing like the value of the time we've put into this. Like, people take us way more seriously now because we didn't just start. Like, the meetings we're
Yeah,
getting, it's kind of crazy. So that's been
true,
interesting too to see change.
true.
Okay, I want to ask you a business question. Um, since we're making things change fast right now on purpose, what is the thing you're most excited about in the business today?
I'm excited to be a leading technology platform. Like the idea that companies that have been around for 50 plus years are going to look to us for advice in technology. I love that. Like that's so exciting. And like it's not even like we're the tech company in entertainment, like the best or the smartest, or but we just are thinking about things so much differently than they are, and it's crazy that they're so not open to using tech and like automating processes. It's wild to see. I mean, and even if they were open to it, it would be really hard for a whole company that's that been around that long to make shifts and like use different tools. So, yeah, it's exciting that we could be that valuable to someone like so legit.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, the thought of being like, y'all, you never thought about this. You're way more legit than we are.
It's crazy. It it is super exciting. I'm kind of mind blown that how clear the opportunity is and how fast we're moving on it. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it really is. I am I am ready. Um okay, my question. So I've done one and one. I guess I could go either way. Um What is a artist that you have discovered recently or this year, or just someone that you're really into on the music side right now?
Oh, heck yeah. Great question. Um, oh man.
I know this is always a hard one to. I never know the answer when someone asks me that. I'm like, let me look at my Spotify.
I know exactly. I'm like, let me look at. Actually, I will.
Go
Why
ahead.
not? Because I know like the big ones, which that I've just been really into. It's like, all right, isn't that everyone? Um, but I will just throw them out there. I I mean, God, Sabrina Carpenter's new album, I think it might be my most favorite album of the year right now, personally. I think, I know she is not new, but I think she is just having such a cool moment, and I'm pumped for her. Um, isn't new, but I've been really into Lost Frequencies lately. I've been really into Fred again, as you know. Like, I'm kind of just into this ethereal, transient music that makes me feel emotion, but has like this driving beat. I don't know. There's something about it that feels so nostalgic
Ooh.
to me. And I love house music to an extent, and I think it just reminds me of festivals. Like when we were there listening to Fred again, like when we were there listening to oh my god, who was it? It was at the really dusty stage, and it was a few sets before Fred,
Um, yes.
and it was like such a vibe. Who
Galantis.
was that?
That was
Galantis. Like I
sick.
was not
Yeah, that was really good.
expecting that
I
from
know.
Galantis, but I was
It
like,
was great.
dang. Yeah. I am so annoying, and I'm like trying to find a lot of music that has like great pop music for runs. So like I'm that annoying person that's like so into Tate McRae right now. Chapel Roan, I love her. I'm not annoyed by that. She's so freaking amazing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm like all over the
Yep.
place, but I would say that vibe.
Nice. It's awesome. Great
So I
stuff.
overextended on that. Who are you most excited to see at ACL?
Probably Dua Lipa just because I feel like I've never even come close to seeing her, and she's so good.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I mean, it's a pretty good lineup, so I am pumped. But I have a lot of the other ones I like, I have either seen before or maybe I've, only really like a couple songs, but she is going to slay, I think.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna put on an ultimate show. Do you like her new album, the Radical Optimism one?
Yes, I do. I like everything she's put out, which usually I'm like rare that I like that many albums in a row of somebody. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, she rocks.
Since that was an easy one, I'm gonna ask another one on music front. Um, what's a show you wish you could go back and see again?
Ooh, again, like that I did see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saw it and it was so freaking good. You wish you could go back and experience it again.
Ooh. Um hmm. Man. So many. So many that I was with you too. Like I mean, the Alabama Shakes at Bonnaroo is like goes down as like a
God.
just like the perfect set because we were in the pit. We love Bonnaroo, all of our friends. It was like sunset. It was pretty nice outside. That was the first time I'd heard that album, Sound and Color, and it was just like, whoa, this is amazing.
So agree. God, that was so unreal.
Simpler
It is.
time
It's
in
I
life.
exactly. I've noticed that when I go back and think about the shows that just really hit me hard, it's always an outdoor
Mm,
setting. There's something about
yeah.
that, just the sunset vibe, the golden hour
Yeah.
vibe. So
Yeah,
good.
those like outdoor amphitheaters are so good. I agree. I feel like that is where I have the best experiences too.
Cool. Something
Love
to it. Well, Elkhart's getting one.
that. Oh my gosh, yeah. I know. That's my mom's like, when are you moving home? We're getting an outdoor amphitheater in downtown Elkhart. I'm like, cool.
Elkhart's popping now.
Oh
Who knew?
man. Apparently. Oh gosh. Yeah. Um, hmm. What is, I guess I will go business again. Um, what is your favorite part about being a business owner?
Mm. I think my favorite part is that we really get to set the scene for everything. We get to set the pace, set the goals, set the team, set the time, set the structure. And I think a lot back to when I was in school, and I was always just such a rebel. Not because I wanted to be. I just was like, why? Why am I doing it this way? Why do I have to do this? Why can't I just do music? Like it was always and I remember I was even in my internship and I completely sucked because I was like, why do I have to do what you have set out for me? And
Yeah.
that's like bad, that I just didn't want to do what other people wanted me to do. But I think if I cut down to it, like being able to do exactly what I want, I don't know if I could ever work for a big corporation or a big business. And I've thought a lot about that. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. So I love that.
I think I take that for granted just because we're so used to it and that's like all we've ever known as in our careers is that freedom. Because I'm the same way. I think I just like don't like rules. Like similar,
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I'm like, this parking sign, I'm like, I'm gonna park here. Like, what do you care? Like I just like don't agree, so I just don't do it. I do think that is
So
like a
funny.
core entrepreneur characteristic. But yeah, oh my gosh, if we did have a boss and like had to do things that we like knew were wrong, I would kick off. Like it would not be good.
Oh, it wouldn't be good. No, we would rebel and decompensate. And granted, I think a good balance is we have great investors who they hold us, obviously we are held to standards, expectations, and we set such high goals for ourselves that I think other people don't have
Sure.
to. But yeah, I totally agree with that. I think about how much you and I got in trouble in college. Like we were like, why is it this way? So that is pretty funny. Yeah, I think a lot about the if I was told what to do, and that incentivizes me to not have to be told
That's a good thing to think
what
about
to do.
and like keep in mind as the like what if.
Yeah, it's
Do you
exactly.
find Connor
Um,
is the same way or totally different? Like do you like relate with him about that or no?
ooh, it's interesting because I totally see the entrepreneurial side of him, but he hasn't really ever had to work even in a business environment being a musician. But I think we are very similar because I do see so many similarities from like the Enneagram. He's a three wing four, which makes total sense on the individualist side, more artist side. And I'm a three wing two, and I want to help people through achieving. So It makes total sense, but I see that achiever mindset in him a ton. So maybe I see it more than I think I do.
So interesting.
Yeah. What is like Justin's vibe? And this isn't my question, this is an aside, but yeah, what like are you similar in that way? I feel like science is very entrepreneurial, and we've talked about this before, but I'm curious from like this lens.
Yeah, like he's also a 3 Enneagram, but
Oh wow.
I know. I feel like I only know threes.
I know. Yep.
But he's very he loves structure and rules, like to where
Makes
I'm
sense.
like can't relate. Sometimes like he will, for example, he will like circle the block and find like the right parking spot and make us 30 minutes late. Whereas I'm just like, I'm just gonna park here, even though it says 15 minutes parking's only, and we're gonna be fine. And like it's a risk I'm willing to
That is so
take.
Connor.
Like that's like our difference for sure. I'm like, it's fine, just like whip it. And he's like, no, I'm not gonna get towed. And I'm like, you won't. It's fine. Just take a chance.
Okay, that's hilarious. That makes a lot of sense from the like process procedure side. But okay, Connor is so like that. Like everything you just said about how you see those things, that is him. So I take that back.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's interesting to think about the different. Obviously, our work could not be more different. Like we are opposite spectrums as far as what we do. He's a chemical engineer, and I'm not. So yeah, he is very analytical and very data driven. Wants to like have the facts and process, which I appreciate. Like I like to process too. I don't think I'm like move super fast, but I am kind of like definitely riskier than him.
mhm. Risk is a good way to I think to determine it. That's a good call. Okay, I say we both do one more business, one more
Great.
personal. Okay, I'm going to do my business one for
Okay.
you. What do you think you want to do after Eva?
I think I want to do more speaking. I think I want to maybe like consult. I think I would do another business. Like I think I would start something else. Um, yeah, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Exciting. That makes sense. On track.
What was your answer to that? And I'll think of another one too.
Yeah, I think I keep coming back to this equation I've found for myself, and I know I've talked about this with you, but I think being a Gemini, I'm intrigued by so much in life that it helps me to kind of funnel into actually what do I care most about. So, this equation I've determined for myself over the last 10 years, just from looking at the consistencies of what I tend to care most about and what falls off because I don't care enough about it. Number one, have to work with people I love. Kind of going back to I don't see big corporate structure in my future because I want to be able to choose who I work with day in, day out. It's why I want to work with you. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not here to work with someone I don't have a genuine connection to. Uh, Number two, I want to work on something I'm passionate about. There was a big time there where I was like, is it not in music in the future? But I think I just keep coming back to the creative side. So I hope there's always something on the entertainment side for me that I'm connected to because I'm passionate about that. And I used to, I think, be embarrassed that that's all I was passionate about. But I think it's okay because it's what I care most about. And then the final thing is making an impact. So I don't see something that's like not moving fast or driving change or, so I guess my thing is I could see myself kind of similar to you, like maybe consulting on different things or like working in varying things until I find that next thing that I'm like, yes, this. Or maybe it's multiple. But yeah,
Love that.
I don't know. That's not really an answer, but that's how I like it makes sense in my
That's
brain.
great. Perfect. And then I guess my real question,
Mm.
um, I'll go a fun one. Uh, would you ever, or are you interested in ever performing again, doing the music on that side, or songwriting even?
Oh man. Um it's kind of crazy because no. Like I don't know why it's so weird for that to have been so much of my life and I truly don't miss it. Um I kind of was thinking about that the other day. I'm not someone that ever looks back and goes like I wish I could go back to that time. Like there's things I obviously love and miss about college and that feeling, but I'm like I don't miss that. I love now. And so I think that's kind of how I feel about performing or writing. Like it just never felt like it fully clicked and I feel like I keep like learning the next version of me. So yeah, I don't think so. Maybe like for fun with Connor, you know, or like a battle of the bands, like very just like for
Totally.
fun.
No, I love that. That's growth.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, side question because and then I'll ask my real one. Do you still are you still interested in maybe DJing?
I am. I really want to. I think I just keep getting overwhelmed thinking about it and trying to start. Like I need to just like actually learn the tools and the software,
Mm-hmm.
because every time I sit down and I'm like, cool, I'm ready. I'm like, oh, whoa, I don't know this. And so then I'm like, oh, it sounds fun to make a song. It doesn't sound fun to learn a software. I'm sure I could pick it up and like figure it out. I just need to like commit. So that's what keeps kind of like, I keep not, but I really want to. And I am like bummed how much I put it off, but it's time.
Oh, no, I mean, maybe there's like a I know you went to like a class as a part of an event, but I wonder if there's like a boot camp where you could just go and learn everything with
Yeah, I'm
someone.
sure. I'm sure.
Or like some of your
I
DJ
know. I
homies
just should
in
ask,
Austin.
honestly, like, hey, give me like 2 hours.
I am just so selfishly excited for that day because I really think you will be the best. You've all it's just I see it so well. I'm like, "Oh my God.
You are the best.
I want I want to be your stylist or something." I just have visions for like space
I
Kens.
wish. I know that is like my alter ego. I feel like I would, in another world, I am like, that's my full time job. It's just like DJing.
I, I freaking see it. I mean, maybe in this one, who knows? But I see you in Ibiza with like space buns.
Hell yeah. Sign me up.
I love it. Okay, my last question, and I'm going to make it, what's the word? Sappy. So I could never imagine that the person I just happened to walk in to a freshman orientation with, we'd be sitting here, what, like 11 years, 12 years?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, the besides Connor, the most important person in my life. And in ways, I feel more married to you than I do to him because of our business. But I mean, what is something that you have seen like our friendship grow in like the past year? Like, what is something that you are excited about by our growth, or like what's something you see? Because I feel like we continue to grow so much as friends.
Yeah. I think what's cool with us is as individuals, we've grown, we're growing, we change, we add, we twist, and like we're different from who we were at 19, obviously. But we keep, like, if we were two trees next to each other, like our branches like keep touching, like even though we're going up, like we're still parallel,
That's
I
cool.
feel.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll keep changing. Like maybe you will be get into something else and be so different, or maybe I will change a lot more. but I just don't ever see a world where we wouldn't be friends or wouldn't get along because I guess it must be just like so similar at the core, like
Mm-hmm.
our how we see things and like values. I think that must be it, is that's why we're so aligned. And it's crazy how
Mm.
much like other people who I've known for this long, yeah, there's that, because you've known them for so long, there's that comfortability where yeah, when you get back together, it's easy and it's comfortable, and there that's a nice thing to have with somebody. But ours is even more than that because it's like we keep getting like closer, even weirdly, like
Mm-hmm.
we're prioritizing our relationship and we're like we're gonna be more honest, whereas like we don't have to,
Mm.
we we didn't have to like deal with hard stuff. It's easy to not, it's easy to skip over tough conversations or whatever it might be, conflict. We face that head on and it always makes us stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think most people might just like, we're not going to deal with it and it's easier to like sweep under the rug, but it
Mm.
doesn't help in the long run.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. It's almost like because we have such a vested interest in all in it, it we're willing to have a lot more hard conversations than you're right than I think other friendships or other
I'm sure
relationships.
that's a piece of it too. Like if we were just
Yeah.
friends, maybe we wouldn't even have conflict because there's nothing that we need, like would disagree on.
Yeah.
But since we are business partners and this is our full-time job too, there is probably more opportunity to disagree or like
Mm-hmm.
have tough things come up. Um, so yeah, that's true. I'm sure that's like the reason we have to kind of keep being so open.
Yeah. I think it's also taught us to be. I'm I really sucked with conflict before, and now it's like because it's almost like a dog with training. If they have enough good experiences with it, they're going to be like, it's like that's how I see myself. I'm like, "Oh, I know that this always works out for the better. So like let's have it. Let's grow." That's cool.
Exactly. One more question from me then. Let's
Mhm.
see. Mm, man, I feel like I got to end it on a really like a really strong one. um, what do you think? I'll kind of go off of yours, I think. What do you
Mhm.
think
Yeah.
um, is our biggest strength as a partnership and even like as a team, other team members within us? Like, why are we the ones to do this and like make this business work?
Ooh, I like it. So like the Eva team or
I
you
think
and
either both.
our
Yeah.
crew?
Us two as the founders,
Mm,
the team we have, Eva.
yes. I think honestly, I think there's many reasons why this works and why I think this is going to be so good. It already is, but where we want to head. I think there's this first off, I always come back to how dynamic and 360 I think you and I are together. Like truly, I feel like, if you're looking out at like a canyon with all these divots, I feel like both of us fill in each other's divots and it's just like vast. And your ability to process and work through solutions and just your natural ability with technology and just how we implement, but how we still think big picture. And for me to, I think, push us on kind of maybe these like crazy idea, I don't know, just like this ability we both have. But then with the team, I think you and I, maybe because we didn't like being told what to do, we have it's a part of our tenets. Like we look for self-starters, we look for people that are going to figure it out, but we empower them and we want them to have their own ideas and we make them feel seen and heard. And so then that incentivizes them to do their best. And it's like everyone's needing to do their best, and if you're not, it's clearly seen. And I think that requires excellence as best as we can. And if we're not getting it, we look at ourselves first to see how we can change it. So to me, that's what comes to mind.
Yes, I love that. Totally agree. I think that is the
Yeah.
balance, is like you your optimism, finding the ideas, bringing the ideas, and then I'm like down to figure out a plan. Like
Yes.
it
Yes.
is a strong partnership.
Yeah. Like I just said it to Nora today. She was like, "Whoa." She's like, "I can see like Ken sees the plan on this
Finally.
opportunity." And I was like, I know it's good when Ken sees the plan. Like I know it's no good if Ken doesn't see it. That's how I gauge it.
No, I'm like so down now. I'm like our conversation yesterday, because I knew you could see it, and you were way ahead, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. And then it just clicked, and I'm like, we're rocking now. It's on.
Well, we needed the data, and I realized, like, here I was, like, I had never explained my experience with all of that side of it, on the biz dev front. So it makes total sense how we got there now, which is really cool. But it's an exciting
It
time.
is.
I I appreciate this fun little back and forth. I don't know if we'll do it again, but I
Me
really liked
too.
it. It was
It's
good.
cute.
Yeah.
The mirror.
Well, demure indeed.
Awesome. Well, I will see you next time.